Hey friends, it's Mitchell, and today's video is going to be a great one. I'm going to be sharing with you a very famous copywriting formula that some of the greatest copywriters in history have used repeatedly to help make them millions. This one I was taught by Dan Kennedy, and he said that this formula that I'm going to be sharing with you lets you transcend price. So if you are trying to sell something that's very high ticket, well, typically a lot of people are going to be like, I don't know if I can afford that. Even if they have the money, they might be like, is that really for me? What this is going to do is this is going to play on emotions, and people buy with emotions and then justify later with logic. So this formula that I'm going to be giving you then, with that said, is going to help you print money on command. It's important to note before we go into this that people are more likely to take action over the fear of losing something than they are to gain something. You would think the roles would be reversed. If you know somebody's going to get something, why wouldn't they go out and get it? But if they're going to lose something that they already have, they're more likely to do whatever they can to keep that. You know, that could be why, you know, breakups are so hard, because one person is losing the person that they cared about, even though the other person, they're both losing it. But I hope that analogy kind of made sense for what I'm trying to say here. I have another video where I talk about a formula called ADA, and I said that in that video. I'm going to say it in this one. If you read books on copywriting or you take copywriting courses, they should always teach you this formula, right? So they should teach you ADA, but then they're going to teach you this formula as well. So if you can stick around for 5 minutes to watch this video, I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to explain how to write it so you can go out and print money on demand. So then what is this emotionally invoking formula? What is it? It's called PESO. If you know it, great. If you don't, it's okay. It's one of many. It stands for problem, agitation, solution, and offer. Now there are ways that you can write this without including the offer, but I would just include an offer, so that way you're always making an offer to your market. I don't see why you wouldn't. Frank Kern says the more offers you make to the market, the more money you're going to make. So why wouldn't you want to keep making offers? You're not going to annoy people. All right, but let's get into talking about this. So I have a document in front of me. There's going to be one point where I'm going to read off of that so I don't mess things up. But as far as that goes, let's get into it. So the first thing is going to be your problem. This is where you just state a problem that somebody has. This is typically going to be done in your headline, because your headline is what's going to get their attention. Your image or your video, like the one you're watching right now, the whole job that has on social media, if you're running an ad, for example, is just to get somebody to stop scrolling and pay attention, okay? So from there then, you would put the problem in your headline. In the example that I have in front of me right now, we're gonna be talking about dogs. So then you would say something like this. So this is gonna be stating a problem, but this headline is also known as dog whistle copy, and because you were directly calling somebody out. So it says, do you have a dog that doesn't obey basic obedience commands, ? So that would be more like a question headline, but dog whistle as well, because you're directly calling somebody out. Now from there, you're going to want to agitate that problem using as many negative emotions as you can. You know, you basically just want to make having a dog that's terrible at obedience commands like really bad. Like, you know, my dog, for example, I sent her to training for 2 weeks because I got her when she was a puppy, and I use a wheelchair every day. So her being a rambunctious little puppy is kind of not okay for me. So I had her train, and because she wasn't really good at obedience commands, and now she can walk next to me without a leash. I don't even need to use a leash, and literally we can go outside down to the parking lot and come back in, and things are great. So at this point in the video, this is where I'm going to read what I have to say on the screen for this part so I don't mess it up. But remember, we are trying to agitate the problem of not having a dog that will listen to obedience commands. So what I said then, to make the situation worse, is if your dog isn't listening, he or she probably jumps all over people, even when you say stop. Having you scared to introduce your dog to anyone, your dog more than likely has terrible impulse control. So off leash, I'm willing to bet there's a 100% chance your dog will run across the street if he sees another dog, if it sees another dog, and that's incredibly dangerous. And has you stressed 24/7 about foreign objects going into his or her mouth that shouldn't, leading to very expensive vet bills that could have been, that could have been avoided. And then after you've agitated the problem right there, you would just state a solution to that. So a solution then would be, luckily, all this can be stopped and you can have a well-behaved animal you can keep off leash that listens perfectly by using a combination of positive and negative reinforcement, and you can train your dog to behave in a very short 14 days. And I use that example right there as my own personal one because that's, again, I just told you I sent Lainey away to Tampa in Florida for 2 weeks, and they use both negative and positive reinforcement. And then lastly, after you've done stating the solution, you would state your offer, and your offer is going to basically, give them the solution. That's why they're going to want it. So you can say, I've put together a basic dog obedience course that will let you train your dog to listen perfectly every single time you tell him or her to do something and behave extremely well in public. This means no more eating things or jumping on people, and you can achieve this in only 14 short days. ... Without having to hire an expensive dog trainer. Let me tell you exactly what this course consists of, and then you would go into talking about the benefits of your course, what they're going to be getting if they do buy your dog course. And that is going to be how you write Peso, the copywriting formula. And so listen, if you want to know the 7 fastest cash-grabbing, money-printing copywriting secrets known to man, so that way you can start printing money on demand without ever meeting a customer in person or talking to them on the phone, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below for you to go check out. And with that being said, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.